Hello everyone, and I'm back again to review another album. Are You Experienced by the Jimi Hendrix Experience? This was Jimi Hendrix's first album. A little fun fact before I start. This is not the original artwork for the cover. What happened was that there was an original cover, obviously, but Jimi Hendrix himself did not like it, so he had his group to remake it into something more psychedelic as he wanted it, and they came up with this, with its purple and yellow and all that fisheye lens. So it's a really nice album cover, I think. Really represents what the album is about. And all right, so let's get this started. This album was released on May 12th of 1967, same year of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Not that that's too important, but chart info. It's number 15 in 500 GA. Added to the National Recording Registry. It's also the debut album, as I already stated. And the label it was released under was Track Records. The singles released on this album are Hey Joe, Purple Haze, The Wind Cries Mary, Foxy Lady, and Stone Free. So let's get this started. Alright, track number 1, Purple Haze. The first track is perhaps Jimi Hendrix's most well-known song. The meaning behind this song could be a million things, but my interpretation is that it's about an LSD trip, which kind of makes sense. The erratic nature of what's being described in the lyrics would suit such a description. It's heavy, it's loud, it has iconic riffs, and it's a great way to open the debut album of arguably the greatest guitarist known to man, Jimi Hendrix. Track number 2, Manic Depression. This more blues rock talks about being depressed and not getting a girl he wants so badly, wanting to caress her with music, etc. A high-pitched guitar solo and pounding drums make this track so heavy, as Jimmy's voice actually is more mellow in this one. Track number 3, Hey Joe, another one of Jimmy's iconic songs, is actually a cover, but with different lyrics about asking a guy named Joe where he's going with that gun in your hand, to which his reply is that he's going to shoot his woman dead for cheating. Not too heavy is this track compared to some of the other tracks, but iconic all the same. It has a slow tempo and is more blues R&B than anything else. Track number 4, Love or Confusion. This rock track has rather twangy guitars along with a very nice guitar solo in the mix. Mitch Mitchell changes up his drumming style after the main solo, adding some rhythmic flavor. It talks of mixed feelings between the singer and his woman. Track number 5, May This Be Love. This track especially stands out on this album, as it's one of the very few times Jimmy is incredibly soft, actually. Slide guitars, rapid drumming, and a heavier bridge. This is a true testament of rock not having to be loud and heavy to be good. The solo near the end is perhaps one of Jimmy's best solo work, I'd say. The lyrics themselves are pure Jimi Hendrix poetry, detailing love and nature. A nice sentimental ballad showing off Jimmy's skills as a writer and lyricist. Track number 6, I Don't Live Today, a total contrast to the previous track, as this track is incredibly heavy. Hendrix dedicated this song to the Native Americans due to his Cherokee heritage, with lyrics expressing despair. This track is heavy on the distortion techniques Jimmy has become so known for. Track number 7, The Wind Cries Mary. Another track that stands out for its softness. This is another iconic track by Jimmy, with more great poetic lyrics, which are said to be inspired by Jimmy's then-girlfriend, in which they had an argument over her cooking. Another possible inspiration could be from John Clare's poem To Mary, a great track to break apart from the heavy, from the soft. Okay, track 8, Fire, iconic song after iconic song, I'm telling you. This is perhaps the heaviest track on the album. That's debatable, very arguable, but, that's kind of what I think. With guitar riffs and seasoned guitars, any seasoned guitarist should know. It talks of a woman being sexually attractive to the singer, at least that's what it sounds like. The real origin of this song is that after a gig, Noel invited Jimmy and Kathy to his mother's house. It was New Year's Eve, and Jimmy asked if he could stand by the fireplace to keep warm. His mom's Great Dane was in the way, though hence the phrase, I'll move over, Rover, and let Jimmy take over. Track number 9, Third Stone from the Sun, my personal favorite track. The longest and most psychedelic track on the album is mostly instrumental. Really not that heavy. It comes with slide guitars and one of the most recognizable guitar melodies in rock history. It's very spacey, packed with several different sections, a pure rock section and a more jazz-inspired section. There's distortion up the wazoo, and tons of acid-fueled instrumentation. Not to mention strange sound effects. It's a really cool track. You should check it out. Track number 10, Foxy Lady. This R&B blues rock track has a pretty self-explanatory title. It is indeed heavy, and seems to borrow a lot from Purple Haze, just slowed down a bit. And the final track, track 11, Are You Experienced? That's the title track. The final track on the album is incredibly psychedelic, from its backwards-sounding guitar plucking to its almost droning guitars and distortion. This title track embodies all that the album is, a psychedelic experience. It's truly a trip, not at all heavy, just trippy. And overall about this album, a true masterpiece from a master, and the perfect way to let people know that Jimi Hendrix did indeed exist. Anyone who doubts his skills, give them this to listen to. It'll blow them away and truly give them the experience. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me on this review of Are You Experienced? Great album, highly recommend it if you are a rock fan or a Jimi Hendrix fan or guitar fan, any kind of fan. Also, I will put a link for the original cover of this album in the description below. So please comment, rate, subscribe, whatever. And if you want me to review an album of your choice that you may like or recommend, just let me know in the comments, and I will try to get my hands on it unless I already have it. But anyways, thank you for joining me. So long.